This shade is so, so pretty. I mean, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I am so excited for this video because we're doing new makeup. We're talking new makeup. We're talking about the makeup on my face today. We have new eyeshadow. We have new lip liners. We have new blush. We have a bunch of good new stuff to talk about today, and I really like the way that the makeup turned out. Let me know down below what you think, especially the eye. I feel like I don't normally go with a colorful eye, and we went pinky today. I feel like we went really pinky with the look, and I'm really enjoying it. I would love to know down below what you think. Also comment down below on what other new products you want me to try out and review. I'm testing a bunch, but I always love to hear from you guys and hear from what you're curious about, and also if there's a new product that you've been loving, let me know down below, because I always want to know what you guys are loving so I can grab it and try it out. And yeah, I just want to jump into this video and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this full face of new makeup. New makeup, let's get into it. I'm excited. So first things first, we're going to start with a base product. It's not a new base, but we're going to go on with the Iris and Romeo's Best Skin Days skin tint. And I'm just going to take a little bit, not a lot. I don't want a ton of coverage today. I just want something that kind of evens out my complexion. So we're going to do that. This is the shade 8, I believe. Yes, it's the shade 8. And then I'm going to just take this brush here and just get the product all up in here. We're just going to buff it into the skin. Now we're going to move on to a quick bronzer. We're just going to go on with the Westman Atelier bronzer contour stick in the shade Truffle. This is great. This isn't a super dark color on me, but it does give a nice bronzy tone. So we're just going to push that into the skin. And then I'm going to take whatever's left on the back of my hand and just pull it down kind of the sides of my nose. Then we're just going to buff it out with this brush here. Now we're going to move on to our first new product of the day, and it is this powder blush from RMS Beauty. It is so beautiful. It has sheen to it. It's called their Redimension Hydra Powder Blush, and I got the shade Bohemian Girl, and one of you suggested this to me. If you're the person that suggested the shade to me, please let me know down below, because I had a really hard time trying to find the comment, but can you leave a comment down below, because I need to thank you, because the shade is absolutely beautiful. Look how pretty that is. And I mean, I love a shimmery blush. I feel like it just does so much for a really youthful look to the cheek without doing too much. So this is the shade Bohemian Girl right here. I don't know if you can tell. It is so beautiful. Look at that. The sheen, the shade, just everything. And the pigmentation is there. So although I feel like sometimes blush, when you first, like when you swatch it, products just sometimes when you swatch it don't show how pigmented they are. And then when you apply it to your cheeks or your eyes or something, you're like, okay, this was immediately a mistake. This is one of those products for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fluffy brush here and we're just going to dip in. And then we're going to just take a little bit off on the back of our hand, and we're going to just lightly apply, because that was a mistake I made the first time, is going a little too heavy-handed. You can always add more, but it's tougher to take away product. Now we're going to move on to the other side with the same technique. Then we're just going to take a little bit and pull it down the center of our nose, not too high up, but just mainly focusing on this portion here, but not going too high up. I just love this shade. It is so pretty, and I feel like it is a really good shade for also transitioning into fall, because it isn't too pink, it isn't too orange. It gives you some sheen, and it feels like it's one of those shades that's also really good for topping on top of a bunch of different types of shades of blushes. I mean, what do you guys think? It's a stunning shade. So now we're going to move on to concealer, and we're just going to apply a little bit of concealer today, even though I look like I haven't slept in 18 years. And we're going to just apply here And we're gonna let that sit for about a minute, let it kind of dry down a touch, and then we're gonna blend it out with a brush. So we'll be right back in a minute. All right, we let it sit for a minute. Now we're gonna blend it out with this brush here. This is an Hourglass brush. I'm happy with how that's looking, so now we're gonna move on to the eyes. And first things first, before we move on to our new eye products, we're gonna take the bronzer we used and we're gonna just place it all over the lid. So I'm just gonna take a little bit and we're going to just apply it with our fingers, and then we're gonna blend out the edges with a brush. And then I'm just gonna take this brush here and we're just gonna blend the edges. And then also take a little bit of this and pull it on my lower lash line. Now I'm going to just take a little bit of powder and just do my T-zone and under eyes really quickly. And I'm actually just going to take this powder puff because I didn't grab a brush like a dummy. And we're just going to take the powder on this and pat it off so we don't have too much powder. My hand and just kind of place it. Look at the difference that makes. It's pretty awesome. Now we're going to move on to our new eyeshadow, and we have one here from the brand Kulfi, and this is a product I've been wanting to test out. I'm actually testing out a bunch of kind of eyeshadows in a pot that are more cream and shimmery, and I was really intrigued by this formula. So the shade I got is Cetera Sparkles, and this is the most beautiful shade. Look at this. It's just the most beautiful pinky shade. The formula is so interesting. It's almost like whipped-ish. This shade is so pretty. I mean, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. And when you blend it out on the eyes, it isn't quite as pink. It's still pink, but it isn't quite as intense. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna pick up a bit. I don't want too much. I wanna build it up slowly, and we're just going to pack it on the lid. And then I'm going to take this same brush. I didn't add any product to it. And I'm just going to blend the edge a bit. Oh, I just love that shade and blend it out. It's just gorgeous. And it's very pink, but not in a way where you're like, okay, scared. So what I do want to do is I do want to take like a touch of this product, just a little bit, and on my finger, and I mean a little bit, I mean truly, it's this amount that I'm picking up. And I want to just put it on the back of my hand and just on the outer edge here, take that color, not all the way down though. So just kind of at the halfway point. It is so pretty. I am such a big fan of this formula, and it really does like set down really nice and really doesn't move. Like I've been trying to remove this from the back of my hand and it really like, look at that. When she sets down, she sets down. And you don't have to worry about creasing or anything like that, which is very nice and impressive. And I have oily lids, and I don't feel like I need to use a primer with this, which is so nice. One less thing to think about when you're wearing an eyeshadow. I've tested it with a primer and without, and I feel like for me at least, the way that the concealer wears throughout the day is the same, which is great. So now what I want to do is I want to take a little bit of dark brown eyeliner. So this one is from Victoria Beckham Beauty. And we're just going to do a light, just a very light line. Barely anything here. And then we're also going to do a touch of tight lining. And then we're going to move on to a new mascara. Now we're going to use a new mascara. And today we're using this one from SWEED. This is their, hold on, let me try and get the whole thing. This is their Pro Lash Lift Mascara, and they also have a cloud mascara that they sent me as well. And that one was also in the brown color. They sent me the brown one in this one as well. And I have to be honest, when I first saw this wand, I was terrified just because the wand looks unique and scary because I wasn't sure what to expect out of it. What I will say is I need to clean this wand off because I feel like there's a lot of product on this wand, and it is a not like super wet formula, but it is a wetter formula, so you don't want my lashes to clump right away. And this is, we're gonna do one coat first so you can see, and then a second coat. So this is one coat versus no mascara. And I'm not curling my lashes so you can really see what this mascara looks like. So now we're going to move to the other side. So this is both sides, one coat. These lashes are not as, these ones have a little bit more sparseness right now. I don't know what's going on right here. Oh, moving stuff. Right here, I have a little bit of a gap in my lashes. Not sure what happened there, but this is one coat on either side. Now I'm going to do another coat, and I'm really going to clean off the wand again because I find when I don't clean off this mascara, I don't like the way that my lashes look. I find that I get a lot more clumping than I would want. Some people like, oh geez, some people like a really clumpy mascara. I'm not one of those people. I do like some clumping, but sometimes it can be a little bit too much, especially when you have a newer mascara, so the formula's a little bit thinner. Then if you have a wand like this where there's a lot of mascara on the wand, it can clump a little bit more. But for me, I find even when I've been using this and it kind of dried out a touch, I still find that I really do like to clean off the wand a good amount. So we're gonna go on with a second coat. So that's two coats on either side and then just a little bit on the lower lash line. And I do find that if I don't clean off this wand really well, I can get some running just because there's so much product on the wand. And I have weepy eyes, so I have to be careful with what mascara I put on my lower lashes. If I don't put mascara on my lower lashes, I don't really have to worry about running with this, but I do have to worry about my lashes getting clumpy if I don't clean off the wand. But I do enjoy the way that this wears now that I kind of figured out how I like to wear it. But if I had to pick between this one and their other mascara, their Cloud mascara, I would go with the Cloud one. This is still a beautiful formula. I still like the way that it wears. However, again, just because of how much product is on the wand and the fact that my eyes tend to run with mascaras in general, unless I really make sure to clean off the wand and make sure the formula works with my lashes, wands like this with so much product on them don't always work for me just because, again, I have weepy eyes, they run, and so I need a formula that is gonna work with that. And right now, the summer, spring, just the allergies have been taking me for a loop. But I do enjoy the formula. But again, if I had to pick, I would just go with the other one. Next, we're moving on to another product that actually SWEED also sent me, and this is their eyeliner. And it's in a nude color, which I was fascinated by because I saw the nude shade, it being more of a kind of light pink nude, which intrigued me because sometimes the ones that are super, super fleshy toned look insane on me. So this one is, let me do a little swatch on the back of my hand for you. So this is the shade here, if you can see. And you can see that it's not quite as stark white or quite as fleshy toned, which intrigued me because I feel like shades like this are kind of harder to come by. They usually tend to be a little bit more on the like true skin tone side, and at least for me it skews more pink when I apply it. And we're just going to put a little bit in our waterline. Look how pretty that is. It's not so stark and intense. That is it applied to both sides. Anytime I've done this type of eyeliner, whether it's a white, a more nude tone, the really, really bright ones that are even more somehow bright than this eyeliner, they've always given me a kind of a twiggy look. I'm gonna put on the screen in case no one knows what I'm talking about, but Twiggy from back in the day. Does anyone know who I'm talking about? It's always kind of given me a twiggy look because I do have bigger eyes and I feel like her eyes were massive. And so I've always kind of avoided this look because I felt like it looked a little too intense on me. However, there are kind of occasions where I do enjoy it. You'll have to let me know what you think. Now we're going to move on to lips, and we have a new lip liner today, and this is from the brand Lawless, and this is their Forget the Filler lip liner, and the color of this is called Mauve or something. Desert Mauve. And I was really excited to get my hands on this just because I really enjoy Lawless lip products in general. So again, this is the shade Desert Mauve. I'm gonna do, this formula is so creamy. I'm gonna do a little swatchy poo up here. If you can see. So this is the shade. And I felt like this could be a good shade for me, especially going into like the warmer months. Or not warmer months. Can I get it together? Colder months. I feel like this shade really spoke to me for that. And so we're going to lightly apply. This is very, very creamy. I'm just warning you now. So, and it can get away from you fast. And if you press too hard, which I've done, learn from my mistakes, you can kind of break the tip. So just don't press too hard. Not necessarily on my lips if I press too hard, but like when I'm swatching, when I first swatched on my hand. This is the shade. It is very, very pink, but it's a pretty pink, but I don't want it to be my whole lip. I want to really, truly line it just with the shade. And then I'm going to take my finger and just kind of buff out so we don't have too harsh of a line. It's a very pretty shade. What do you guys think of the shade? When I go full force with it on my lips, it's a little bit too intense just for what I like every day. However, when I do go kind of more full send with it and I'm going very, very minimal with the eye, then I do enjoy that. But today we didn't go that minimal on the eye, so we're going to go a little bit more minimal on the lip. And then on top of that, we're going to go with this mini Butter Balm from Summer Fridays. This is the shade Vanilla Beige, and we're gonna apply this on top. And yeah, that is the finished makeup look. I really, really like kind of just the tones. So we went real pink. We went full send with the pink, which I love. And I will say, I feel like there's two standout products from this video. The RMS, their Redimension Hydra Powder Blush in the shade, what is it, Bohemian Girl. I really, really like this. It is just so stunning. I mean, the sheen is beautiful. It's not too much. It gives you exactly like a really healthy cheek, and it just glows, but it's not, in my opinion at least, glittery. I really, really like this blush, and I know a lot of you also like this blush, and I'm so glad that I also enjoy it, because a lot of you have suggested I try it, and I never ended up purchasing it. And then I finally pulled the trigger, purchased it when one of you commented which shade you thought I would love. So I pulled the trigger, I purchased it, and I'm so happy with it. And then the other stand-up product is definitely the Kulfi eyeshadow. This is just so beautiful. I do hope they come out with some more neutrally shades, but I just love this. And I mean, I think the eye look itself is just, it gives you something, but it isn't too much, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm a really big fan, and also the formula does not budge. And that's kind of the same with this RMS powder blush. It really doesn't move. It doesn't get patchy, and it just looks beautiful all day. It wears beautifully as a topper as well if you want it to just kind of set something. These two products specifically, I am such a big fan of. And yeah, that's it for this video. That is it for this new makeup video. I would love to know down below, have you tried these products? If you have, what do you think? And specifically, what do you think of this eyeshadow? Are you as surprised with how long wearing and just stunning it is on the eyes? I kind of want to pick up another shade because this is really, really nice, and I feel like so many people will enjoy this formula. I do hope, again, that they come out with some more kind of neutrally shades, something that, you know, isn't necessarily pink or green or whatever, something that is a little bit more everyday. But I really, really love this. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.